The Horror Eternal presents Blood Plains Reaping, Chapter 3, Fever Fiend, Part 3. Ceiling first, high and white. Plaster scrollwork at the corners gone gray with age. Morning light insisting at the edges of the curtains. Dev takes a deep breath, shaking off the evaporating monsters of another world, another time and place. She shifts her shoulders, pushing up on the pillow. The dressing table mirror stares back from across the room, taunting her with the multiplying lines at the corners of her eyes, the slackness of the jaw, the sag in the neck. She lies there, taking inventory as her hand reaches out and grabs her phone from the nightstand. The time. God damn it! She throws the covers back, hears the water running in the bathroom, a drawer opening and closing. Asha. Dev slips to the dressing table, opens the drawer. Moisturizer, the good kind. She works it into her forehead, cheeks, neck, studies the result, never the face she once wore so proudly. A rattle of the handle and Asha comes out already dressed. Silk blouse, dark trousers, hair loose. Why didn't you wake me? Dev snaps, voice raised. I did, Asha replies. Twice. You didn't try hard enough. Dev opens a jewelry box, picks up the pearls, works at the clasp. How long do we have? Asha steps over and sits in the deep windowsill that looks out over the LA basin. Orange glaze of the setting sun casting its highlights in her hair. Less than an hour. That's not enough time. The clasp defeats her. She sets the pearls down. Why didn't you confirm with the caterers yesterday like I asked you to? I did, Asha says, oblivious to Dev's plight. Then why haven't they called? Asha turns from the window. I don't know, Dev. Maybe because they're already downstairs setting up? Dev looks at her in the mirror. Don't do that. Do what? That tone. That smart-ass 24-year-old tone. What does that mean? It means you have no idea what any of this costs. Dev sets the pearls down. You stand there in that light and you have absolutely no idea. Dev, come do this clasp. Asha crosses to the dressing table, picks up the pearls, works the clasp open with quick, certain fingers, and fastens them at the back of Dev's neck. Dev studies her reflection, the pearls, Asha's face behind her, the light still glorifying her flawless skin. Wear the blue dress, Dev says. The Valentino. I thought the gray. Asha starts, only to be cut off. I didn't ask what you thought. Asha goes to the closet. They arrive in a procession. Women Dev has known for years. Women she's lunched with, partied with, competed against, and watched age alongside her with the grim solidarity of inmates sharing a life sentence. 40s, 50s, 60s, dressed up with the precision of women for whom keeping up appearances is not vanity, but warfare. They come through the door and their eyes, every one, immediately find Asha. Not mere glancing moments, but covetous taking of her youthful inventory, cataloging its worth and strategizing how to possess it. Dev watches them watch her. Asha moves through the room, carrying a tray of champagne glasses with the effortless poise of someone who learned early how to exist gracefully in rooms where she is the youngest person by 20 years. The women each take a cocktail, fingers lingering on Asha's too long. They smile, hold their stare, ask flirtatious questions with probing intent. Darling, a voice interrupts Dev's vigilance. She turns to find a familiar face, late 60s typography, rings on every finger. She takes Dev's hands, squeezes them. You look wonderful. Thank you, Miriam, Dev responds. As do you. No, girl, you needn't bullshit your elders. Miriam's eyes drift to Asha across the room. You chose well. She smiles, reflective, her gaze never returning to Dev's. Seems like only yesterday you were the Asha of my world. It's been a lot of yesterdays, Miriam, Dev says flatly. The older woman returns her gaze, eyes tracing the lines in Dev's face. Her eyebrows raise in a judgmental arch. Yes, it has. Dev is at the bar trading polite small talk with a group of women when she sees Renata come in. 38, dark hair to her shoulders, pencil-thin figure, outlined by a sleek black dress she wears with the confidence of a woman who doesn't think about how a dress fits. Renata had come to one of these gatherings with Asha 2 years ago, before Dev, or just before her. Asha's always been vague about the timeline. Dev has never pushed on it directly. Renata crosses the room, says hello to several people, and finds Asha near the stairs. Dev watches. Renata touches Asha's inner arm as they greet each other, cheek to cheek with a familiar ease. Asha smiles, not the tightly held facade she's worn all evening, something more natural, relaxed. Renata says something and Asha laughs, throws her head back, hand to her mouth, a full, unguarded reaction. The kind Dev has to work for. Dev sets her glass down on the bar and excuses herself, eyes never leaving Asha and Renata. She steps up between them, her hand finding Asha's waist, her cheek going to Renata's in a gesture that is an embrace and a boundary. "Renata," she pulls back, tension straining her forced smile. "I didn't know you were coming." "Dev," Renata says casually. "You look beautiful. So do you." Dev's hand tightens at Asha's waist. "I see you found each other. She's wonderful company." Renata smiles, shifting her attention to Asha. "We were just catching up." "Well, that's what these little gatherings are for, right?" Dev turns to Asha. "Asha, dear, do you mind checking on the food?" "Dev," Asha starts. "Please," Dev insists, tone flat. Asha's posture deflates, eyes drop to the floor. As she turns, she glances past Dev to an understanding nod from Renata. She goes. Dev stares at Renata, fixed smile waning. "Elena was asking for you," Dev says. "She's over by the bar." "Of course," Renata goes. Dev picks up a fresh glass from a passing tray and drinks. The liquor rush washes over her and she heads off to find Asha. Asha is in the kitchen, standing over the sink, her back to the door when Dev strides in. "I don't want her here," Dev says. Asha doesn't turn around. "You invited everyone," Asha says. "Don't be obtuse. You know what I mean." Dev responds sharply. "I haven't seen her in 2 years," Asha says, back still turned. "I watched you with her." "Dev," Asha turns. "We were talking." "I saw how you were talking." Dev crosses to Asha and takes her chin in her hand, stern, demanding, tilts it up to meet her eye to eye. "Do you think I'm stupid?" "No," Asha responds, voice soft but direct. "I think you're jealous." Dev holds her glare for a long moment, then releases Asha's chin and takes a step back. "The guests need you," she says. Asha turns back, finishes placing a new round of glasses on her tray and walks out, eyes forward past Dev. Outside, Dev hears the room change, conversations contracting, register dropping, the audible footprint of a crowd rearranging its attention. She steps out to see a woman on the entrance landing, long, outstretched hands greeting several guests gathered there, polite, unobtrusive, and yet commanding the immediate attention of all eyes in the room. She is tall, flushed with a golden mane that flows over her shoulders in waves, her dress the dark red of dried roses, a face poised on elegant structure that halts any question of age, not young, not old, a timeless beauty that one could believe has overcome death itself. The striking figure directs her attention to the room, searching, and where her notice falls, the women go quiet until finally she finds Dev. Something moves through Dev's body as their eyes meet, a shiver tinged with shades of excitement, nervousness, and fear, twisting into a faint lightness in her head as the woman glides down the steps and crosses the room toward her. "You must be Dev," she says, her pitch a silken refrain. "I'm Marilee. And which one is our special guest?" Dev points to the back of the room where Asha looks on from a small group of women, empty tray at her side. The caterers are gone. The candles are lit. Dozens set out on every surface. The warm light casts an intimate glow that draws the space in around the gathering. The women are arranged in a large circle, Marilee, Dev, and Asha at the center. Shadows cast by the flickering light distort the onlooking faces, conspiring in the wrong places, gathering at angles that shape their age-licked features into an army of expectant death masks. Marilee stands at the center of the ring, a glass in each hand. "Before we begin," she says, "a toast." She extends one glass to Dev, one to Asha. Dev takes the glass, then Asha, Marilee's fingers brushing her softly as she does. The women all raise their glasses. "To love," Marilee says, "and what it costs." They drink. Merrily paces around Dev and Asha, looking them over and trading solicitous glances with the audience as she begins to speak. What we do tonight is old. Older than any of you. Older than the churches that told you what to believe and the sciences that told you what to expect. She moves around the circle, unhurried, deliberate, the women's eyes fixed to her. You know what the world takes. You've watched it take it from each other, your loved ones, and most of all, from yourselves. She pauses. I'm here because there is another way. Asha's hand goes to the stem of her glass. It feels strange. The air feels strange. Close, the candle smoke thicker than it should be. She blinks. I was old, merrily says. I'll show you what that looked like. She reaches into her dress and produces a photograph, passes it to a woman on her left. Dev watches it move from hand to hand around the ring, notes the tremor in every expression as they view it. It reaches Asha before her. Asha looks at it, her bearing unbetrayed like the others. Finally, she hands it to Dev, a woman, ancient, skin like paper, taut against the shriveled shell underneath. Eyes sunken to dark points in a face that's lost the argument with time so completely it barely holds its shape. A ragged mane of white hair huddled in patches on top. In the bottom corner, in faded ink, merrily, 1962. Dev looks up at the woman at the center of the ring, the golden hair, the unblemished face. Something turns over slowly in her chest. A sweat blooms across her forehead. She wipes it with the back of her hand. How? A voice rises from the audience. I simply took what I needed from someone I loved. A sacrifice, not given, but made. The choice to take what sustained you from the person closest to you. She retrieves the photograph from Dev without looking at her, slips it back into her dress. That is what I offer, not something asked for. No begging. Something chosen, something seized by someone with the will to seize it. She pauses. And you must be the one to do it. No one can do it for you. The room is very still. Asha blinks again. The candle flames seem to lean toward her. Her hand on the glass feels heavy, the glass itself heavier than it was a moment ago. She shifts her weight and something in the shift is wrong. Her legs distant, operating on a slight delay. She looks at the drink in her hand, then to Dev. Dev, she pleads, her voice strange to her own ears. Slower, softer, the edges of the word not quite right. Dev doesn't respond, her eyes locked on Merrily at the top of the ring. Dev! But the sound that emerges collapses in on itself. She attempts to place the glass on the arm of a nearby love seat and misses. It shatters on the floor, the sound piercing the quiet air. No one reacts. Something's wrong? I don't feel... She reaches for Dev's arm, but Dev doesn't move to help. She just stares back, cold and vacant. An instinct rises up, a warning. Run, but her legs won't cooperate. Something thickening in the joints, like wading into water that keeps getting deeper. Then Merrily is beside her on one side, then Miriam on the other, their hands at her arms, gentle, almost tender, guiding her down and back toward an opening where the gathering has parted to reveal a long table at the far end of the room. It's all right, comes Dev's voice from somewhere behind her. Dev? She gets a hand up, reaches at the air above her. Dev, please. They raise her up onto the table and slide her body to rest, the surface cold on her back through the silk of her blouse. The women gather round, their collective countenance freed of every performance the afternoon required, their wild eyes salivating, ripe with a hunger that's been patient a very long time. Dev steps up to the edge of the table, examines Asha's body with the detached scrutiny of an owner appraising the worth of a valuable possession. A bead of sweat runs down the back of her neck. She turns to face the mob. Something horrible greets her. Monsters, withered and burnt faces stitched with black veins, skin dried and peeling, bodies twisted and broken, a deja vu jump scare from a forgotten place. She blinks, shaking her head. Then Merrily, Miriam, Renata, everyone is as they were, and all of them are watching her, waiting, the hunger palpable, a low, collective held breath. Merrily approaches, a small silver-handled mirror in her hand. She holds it up to Dev. Another face stares back, a familiar one, an old friend lost to time. Flawless skin, thick black hair, jaw sharp and certain, eyes bright with clarity. She raises a hand to her cheek. This face is yours, Dev. Merrily urges. All it requires is a single action, a declaration to the universe, a sacrifice, one thing you love in exchange for something that was stolen, something that rightfully belongs to you. Merrily lowers the mirror. Dev looks down at Asha. The women lean forward in anticipation. Asha can't move. Her body's slow and distant, but her eyes are clear. They find Dev's and hold them. Merrily extends a knife, handle first. Dev takes it, studies it, then returns her eyes to Asha, to the face she's woken up to for 2 years. The face that trusted and believed in her, supported and accepted her, flaws and all. A face that was only ever guilty of one crime, reminding her every day with every smile and every glance of what she'd lost. I love you, Dev says. She draws the knife back. Asha screams inside. Dev plunges the knife into Asha's chest. I lower the blade. Billy, I can't. My voice weak, broken. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. Billy's eyes flare. Shattered teeth and torn flesh spit blood and rage. You fucking coward! Selfish fucking coward! Why won't you release me? I close my eyes, press my sweat-soaked forehead into my free hand. Because it's not you, Billy. My voice steadying, gathering my resolve. You're not real. You're dead. I open my blade hand. The machete drops to the floor. A piercing scream rips the air. A raging death rattle straight out of hell itself. My eyes snap open. The hallway's gone. I find myself standing in a large, crumbling foyer. Directly in front of me, where Billy had been, Oscar sits naked in a rickety chair with the lost expression of someone waking from a serious hangover. Then I see her, moving through shadows like a wraith, the white mane flowing like a trail of smoke. The old woman, more creature now than human, long dagger teeth open wide. She comes at me. I shift and she hits me with a strength that has no business coming from something that frail. I roll with the impact, hand grasping the machete handle as I hit the floor, and swing the blade around in one smooth motion. The head comes off. The body drops like a sack of dirt. The head rolls to a stop, whatever kind of life it had already gone from it. I stand up to my feet, can't resist a victory lap. You wanted release. You got it. My words hang in the air, longer on conscience. There was probably more truth in what I said than gloat. Fuck this world. Oscar blinks, looks around, looks down at himself. What? Where? Gus? Where'd all the treasure go? He turns in the chair, searching the bare stone walls like the gold would come back if he just looks hard enough. There was so much. It was the old lady, I say. She was messing with our heads, so I took hers. Oscar looks down at himself. Why do these situations always end up with me naked? I don't have an answer for that. I never have. A scream explodes from a room just off the foyer. I'm moving before I've even fully registered it. Machete up, Oscar pulling on his pants as he follows. We enter the space, stopped dead in our tracks by the scene that greets us. Dev stands over Asha with a knife in her hand, face fractured with the realization of what she's done. The kid's body lies on a long dust-covered table in front of her, chest opened up like an offering, both of them covered in blood. No! Dev cries, gathering Asha's body to her. Asha, please, no, no! I take a step forward, but before I can finish a second, Dev's hand has drawn her gun up from her holster to her temple. Dev, no! I shout. The shot is very loud, and then there's only quiet. 2 more bodies holding each other in the aftermath of a long-lost world. There wasn't any treasure in the end, just another empty house with a monster inside. We carry Asha and Dev out and bury them together on the hill above the property, because it seems like the only thing that means anything at this point. I don't say much over the dirt. There's not much to say. For once, Oscar doesn't either. He just stands there with his cap in his hands, looking down at the disturbed earth. I think about Billy the whole way back to camp. I don't dream that night. Small mercies while they last. If you have enjoyed this program, please like, review, and share. Spread the word. The Horror Eternal presents Blood Plains Reaping. Written, produced, and performed by Roy Burdine. Sound design and mix by Mark Labib. The Horror Eternal and Blood Plains Reaping are copyright 2026 Roy Burdine. This has been a Spiral Opus audio production.
Monster Forge. We make monsters.